Welcome back. You're watching eNCA on election day, and it's an exciting day. Well, it feels exciting, even though we're in studio, but crossing to all the reporters and seeing people getting up to vote, it still gives us that fun feeling.
It's a double dose of excitement for us because, you know, they say a change is as good as a holiday, so we're in a new city, and we're crossing to all of our colleagues around the country, some on in helicopters, some on the ground. You know, it is a pretty exciting day.
Yeah, I feel like our eNCA has really gone all out to bring the best coverage.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that to for the boss's benefit, but really we've got a brilliant video wall. We've got an eye in the sky.
Yeah.
They've brought us here to Joburg, which of course is just fabulous. And what's really interesting, I think, is going to be the latest data released by Ipsos, which Rafia is going to run us through. She is standing by at the video wall. Thank you so much for joining us and take us through the numbers, which we are quite perplexed by because we're looking on small screens. You've got the touch screen. Tell us what's happening.
That's right. So the latest data that's been released by Ipsos in conjunction with eNCA is reflecting the mood in South Africa during or pre-election time. So there are some concerns around safety and security and the provision of basic services. In fact, one study which is included here even shows that out of 28 countries, South Africa is one of the countries whose citizens have the least trust in their police. And of course, I'll be spending the day with Marie Harris, who's the director for Ipsos SA. You've compiled this particular data. Let's take a look at the overall mood, Marie. So you've compiled this. This is the first wave compared with the third wave. It's decreased over the 2-week period that the study is done with. Talk us through why the mood would suddenly change. And it's not even a small movement in the margins.
I think from the first round of research that we did, it was from the 9th to the 15th of October, and the second round was from the 23rd to the 27th of October, just to put that in perspective. The big thing that changed was the provision of power. We had load shedding, and load shedding throughout the last 2 weeks. And I think that actually had a huge influence on how people feel. Then some communities were without water as well. So it was probably not a very good introduction into election season with basic services that people need going on the blink.
Right. Now, what are people saying in terms of the direction that the country is going in? Let's take a look at that. This was part of the study that you've done as well, and it follows from November 2013 all the way through to December 2020. And I suppose there where we start to see a nice dip in terms of the overall sentiment is during the Zuma years. And then you'll just talk us through the trends that would have affected the direction that people think we're heading in.
We are doing these studies called Kaibas every 6 months, and these results are from the Kaibas study. We can see how events that happen in the country influence things. For instance, there was a little lift after May 2014, the second term of President Zuma, but as you said, from there it went downhill. And then you can see the lift in mood, the green line going up, from November 2017 to May 2018, when President Ramaphosa took over. We can see what happened there.
The new dawn it was.
The new dawn
Yes.
it was. But the dawn actually became day quite quickly, as you can see there, and everybody was not happy with how things go, and things didn't change quickly. A lot of people expected President Ramaphosa to do things quicker and look at the corruption issues quicker and sort out service delivery issues. But as we know, he is not somebody taking quick decisions. It's always a considered and lots of people say slow decision. So currently 15% of South Africans are saying the country is going in the right direction. And these results, these trend results, are from the whole population. It's not only registered voters. So perhaps we can understand why some people didn't bother to register to vote.
That's very, very interesting. Now, I haven't included all the slides that you've shared with us. They're just the highlights. And I want to focus now about these standards, the direction that standards are moving in the local area. And you'll just explain to our viewer that you've got the inner circle, which was the first wave, and the third wave is reflected by the outer circle. Just talk us through the trajectory and the thoughts of the people in this particular survey.
Yeah, for this particular measurement, and we don't see that big movement in the two surveys, but we can see that, well, currently 40% of South Africans who are registered to vote, remember the eNCA studies are only registered voters, said that a week ago that the standards in the country is getting worse. And again, I go back to my earlier comment about the provision of services and electricity and water and potholes and whatever else. So we can see only a quarter are saying that things are improving in the area. We know there were some things happening in the last 2 weeks in some communities. People tried, or the authorities tried to do some things, but then a third are saying it's remaining the same, but the biggest group are saying that things in my local community are getting worse.
Which is a very dire situation. And another thing that's highlighted here is also the issue of safety. The thoughts of those surveyed in terms of safety and security. During all of the surveys that we've done, Marie, that's come out tops in terms of a basic service that most community members look out for in their communities.
Yeah, there's actually two things about safety that we looked at. This one, a current feeling of personal safety, about which I will talk just now. And the other thing was about if you have to choose. We gave them three options: safety and security, refuse removal and clean streets, and affordable services were the three things that we posed to respondents and said, choose the one that's most important for you, that you want your local authority to do first after these elections. And most people said safety and security. It was in all provinces, in all metros over the country in the eNCA study. But now, looking at the current feeling of personal safety, we know this is not a good area. Safety and security is a big area, and about 40-odd% say it stayed the same, and then another 40% say it's worse compared to a few months ago. So we cannot deny that there are lots of things wrong and lots of things that influence people when they make their decision to go and vote today, because you have to think about all these things, and then only you can draw your cross next to the party you want to vote for.
Right, we're running out of time, but I have to ask you this. We've done something else, and I think we'll delve further into it in our later crossing, about loyalty, party loyalties. People are going to go out and they're going to be making their votes, but why is it that they vote for the same party that they're dissatisfied with? This is something that has been discussed over the last few days, and there's a lot of dissatisfaction, but there's, especially in the big metros, where a large number of people go for the exact same party.
Yeah. There's about 80% of people who say they will vote for the same party. So there is another proportion that will vote for a new party. So we are going to see some shifts. But voting for the same party, people will tell you, this is my party. I've always voted for it. I have trust in this party, and they will make the changes that are needed. And other people are saying they have trust in the leader of the party. And then some people say they have no alternative. There's no other party to vote for. So those are the four big reasons that came out why people will stick to the same party they've always voted for.
Brilliant, Marie. Of course, her and I are going to continue to unpack various themes throughout the day based on the surveys that have been conducted over the last few weeks. These will include leadership issues. We've just discussed the mood in the country. We'll discuss voter apathy, issues of looting and violence, as well as the impact of COVID-19 on these municipal elections. Annika and Tux, it's back to you guys.
Well, thank you so much for those figures and for those latest Ipsos details coming out. Fascinating just to look at the polls ahead of the results, which should start trickling in, if not late this evening from some of the smaller constituencies, then certainly early tomorrow morning. But still to come here.